Welcome to video 3 in the private practice series. If you're still here, thank you so much. How did you go with all of that information on masculine and feminine energy and wounded masculine and wounded feminine in the previous video? It's a lot to try and digest, isn't it? When I first started learning about that stuff too, I just thought it was so interesting. I absolutely loved it, and I haven't looked back. It's absolutely changed my private practice. And today what I'm going to do is share with you another secret that I use in both of my businesses, so my coaching business and in my private practice, because I want you to understand how it all works so that you can start to create some changes in your private practice too. So let's get on with it. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a recap of what you've learned so far. Look at the big picture for your private practice. And then, of course, where to from here, because I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. So I guess what we've learned so far is that, while strategies can absolutely be effective and they can absolutely be powerful and useful tools for you as a woman in private practice, they don't work unless you've done the inner work. If you don't believe that they're going to work, if you don't believe you're good enough, if you're out of alignment energetically, either physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, if your masculine and feminine energy are off, then you could have all the best tools under the sun. They're just not going to work. And this is one of the things that just isn't really discussed in private practice for private practice owners. And so this is my jam. This is what I love to help fill that gap for you. So I've given you information about that already. And today I'm going to share with you the process that I'm using to create success in my private practice. I call it the private practice method. And there's lots that goes into this, but essentially it has 4 pillars. And within each of the 4 pillars, of course, there's a bunch of steps and, things that we work through so that you can start to create the private practice and get it moving in a direction that feels more aligned with your vision and your values and your purpose and your soul goals, if you have them, So I guess the first step, of course, is having awareness. So I call it awareness and illumination, because awareness is really around, we'll talk about this in more detail in a moment, but awareness is around really what's going on. The second stage is reflection, and that reflection is trying to gain a deeper understanding. So it's deep diving into why things are the way they are, the good, the bad, and everything in between. I actually don't believe in bad, I believe in lessons. Things don't always feel good when they're happening. I know, like that's happened to me too, but there's always a lesson, isn't there? And change comes from those unwanted times. The next step, of course, is taking aligned action. And that aligned action is looking at, what's the goal that I have? What am I doing to help myself get there? But in a way that, again, marries up really nicely with that inner work, with my beliefs, my thoughts, my feelings, my spirituality, all of that sort of stuff. And then, of course, the last pillar is really around this concept of evolution, and it's a growth mindset. And by growth, I don't mean get another premises, grow your team. No, of course, some people will want to do that, but really growth is bigger. Growth is around, again, we'll talk about it in a moment, but growth is really around your own up-leveling, your own expansion of your own awareness, because it's through you that the practice manifests. Everything you're seeing in the practice is a direct reflection of previous thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that you've had, right, about the private practice. It just takes time for them to come into reality, but everything you've got is there because of those things. Anyway, so awareness and illumination. Awareness is really around, for me, it was around having that moment in the practice where I thought, oh, yikes, what's going to happen here? Will I be able to pay the rent? Like, if certain changes go through, what's that going to mean for me? Do I agree with these changes that are happening or not? So there's usually something that happens, some kind of trigger, you might call it, like in psychology, you might call it a trigger. But there's some kind of event, situation, something happens. And with that happening becomes an awareness, a self-awareness that something's off, something's not right, something's out of kilter. And with that awareness comes illumination, because illumination is where you start to say, okay, let's shine a light onto my shadow here, what's been triggered within me. And so it's through doing some of that shadow work that we're able to get a better understanding of where's the practice currently, is it where we want it to be or not, and why. So it's that moment that you have, that something is off, something's just not right. It's that awareness then and there, and then from there it leads to process of illumination, which is understanding what's really going on. As I said, we want to shine a light into that shadow side and look at what's been triggered within you, so that then we can do that work to help you come out the other side. That's the first pillar. The second pillar, of course, is reflection. And reflection is really around looking at how are we showing up in the practice? Are we showing up in the doing energy? Is it the being energy? How's our physical body day to day? Like, are we feeling depleted, tired, or are we feeling energized by our work? If we're not, how do we want to feel, and how could we get to that feeling? What's our mental energy like? Are we feeling drained because we've written 3 reports today and we've still got clients to see? What's our emotional energy like that we're bringing to the practice? I mean, are you still in love with it? Or are you starting to feel like it's a bad relationship that you can't get out of? Where's your spiritual energy at? Are you able to trust yourself to make decisions and be guided by what you think, feel, and believe to be true? Or do you doubt yourself, and so therefore you're looking for other people to tell you what to do, to provide you with the tool, to provide you with the map, so that you can just follow that, because you tend to trust other people and other things more than you trust yourself. And where's that masculine, feminine energy sitting, which I won't go into because we just had a whole video on that. The third pillar is, taking aligned action. So aligned action isn't just doing the things, it's understanding what things marry up nicely with your purpose, with your vision, with the impact goals that you set, with the income goals that you set, and they feel good for you at a soul level, right? It's the steps that you want to take to be able to manifest that dream private practice into your reality. And it's possible. And I have a bunch of women that you can talk to that have done just this. And it can mean being okay with letting some things go, so that you can create space for new things to come in, whether that's a new attitude, whether it's a new belief, whether it's a new candidate for your role if you are expanding your team, whether it's a new fee that you want to come in, or whether it's even a new type of client demographic that you want to come in. But it's less about taking action for action's sake and more around taking the action that feels connected to you, that lights you up, that puts you in a state of flow. It's action you look forward to taking. It's action that feels light and easy and breezy, not action that feels heavy, that you're resisting or that you're avoiding. The fourth pillar is evolution, and evolution is this continual expansion of your awareness. It's expansion of your consciousness. It's expansion of your values, of your inner knowledge, of your ability to cultivate trust within yourself, of your ability to listen to that intuition and be guided by it. It's an evolution of your ability to tap into your inner knowing, because you already know what your practice needs. You just don't trust yourself yet. And I want to show you how to do that. It's around, ongoing ongoing growth with your key performance indicators. And if you're in solo private practice, maybe you're not tracking them yet, but certainly what you focus on expands and what you focus on grows. So if you're not going to focus on anything at all than one thing, then that one thing should absolutely be focusing on the money that's coming in, because if you're not making money, you're not in business. It's also around harnessing energy so that you can continue your beautiful evolution as a woman in private practice. And it's being okay with change and growth, however you want that to look like for you and for your private practice. So again, this comes back to you being able to learn how to cultivate that inner confidence, because when you can do that, you're not going to be comparing yourself to others as much. You're not going to be measuring your success against others. You're not going to be worried about criticism or judgment from others, because you know that you're being authentic and true to your own path, to your own purpose, whatever that's going to look like for your practice. And I get that this can feel scary if you haven't done it before, but that's why I'm here. I'm here to show you how to do it. And it's not by doing other people's stuff, guys. It's not. This is going to save you so much time and so much money and so much hassle, and it's going to feel so good. Trust me. So where you are now probably is that you have knowledge of what you should and could be doing for your business. You know the strategies perhaps, but you haven't yet been able to implement them effectively. Maybe you have bought other people's templates, you've watched other people's webinars, you've done other people's training, and it just hasn't worked for you for whatever reason. Here's the thing. It's not about the training. It's not about taking somebody else's templates or anything like that. That's just what worked for them. But in order for it to work for them, they had to have a certain mindset. They had to hold on to certain beliefs. They had to be cultivating a certain level of masculine and feminine energy, right? They had to be, there's all this behind the scenes stuff that you don't see. You just see the final product, which is that template, and you go, well, it worked for them. They made $1 million, so I'm going to get it because it must then work for me too. But what you're finding is that it's not working for you. And here's why. It's because that person put their energy into that tool. I want to show you how you can create your own unique set of action steps just for you, just for your private practice. And the steps that you can create that feel good and that get results because they're aligned with your energy, with your purpose, with your vision, and with your values. And it does not have to be hard. It is a journey of self-discovery, and it is a journey where you're constantly evolving so that you can constantly up-level. But if you love doing this work, then this is absolutely where you want to be. If you want to get off that hamster wheel of buying all of the stuff and it not working out for you, or you're having to adapt it and fix it and change it, if you want to get off that hamster wheel, then I can absolutely help you do that, because I've been helping women for years in private practice to do exactly this and get results. What I've created is a support space for women in private practice. It's just for women, no men. Now, I didn't set out to make it just for women. It just turns out they've only attracted women. So I've decided to keep it as a space just for us. You can be supported by other women in private practice who are at the same stage of your journey or who are further ahead on the journey, who honor the inner work, who are learning themselves about harnessing their own physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual energy, who are also learning about masculine and feminine energy, and who are beginning to apply it and get beautiful results in their private practices. Using my process that I just shared with you, I've had women who were struggling to identify candidates or to attract candidates for roles that they were advertising for nearly 12 months. They had applications from dream candidates within 5 hours. Other people made more money in the practice than they had before using traditional approaches, and they were able to reduce their days of working and have more time at home. They still can't believe that they've had this level of financial abundance in the private practice as a result of doing this inner work. Other people have been able to shift out of imposter syndrome and trust themselves, and as a result of that, create a different direction for their practice that allowed them to let go of bulk billing and move into a private space. People are now, just operating in a way that really speaks to their soul and their vision for why they wanted to be in business in the first place. Every week in this support space, you are provided with training, and all of that training is recorded. So if you can't attend, that's fine. All the training goes into a training vault. There are also 11 learning units in this support space that you can either binge on over a weekend, or you can just dip in and out of those modules as you need them. It's like a little a pharmacy of antidotes for things that might be challenging you in your private practice. And some of them have workbooks, bonus resources, audios, videos. Everything is right there at your fingertips. You also have access to me on demand in that group. So whenever you need help or guidance, or there's a challenge, or something's just feeling a bit off on that day in your private practice, and you want some guidance around that, you can just jump in the group and ask for support, and we will all jump in there and help you. The thing that makes this group different is we don't tell each other what to do. We don't give our opinions. This is a group where you're encouraged to find the answers from within, and I use a very special, unique approach to helping you uncover for yourself the action steps that you want to take for your business. And this is where the real growth happens. And then lastly, because you watch these 3 videos, I would love to invite you to come into the group for just $1 for your first month, so that you can try it and see what it's like. You can download all the things in the learning units. You can have a look at all of the videos, watch the recorded coaching videos, read all of the posts, get some support, get as much help as you like for that first month. And if you love it, stay, and then you'll just pay a founding members fee. It's just $97 a month, which is less than a coffee a day. And that's available to everybody who watches the video series, this $1 invitation. So I hope that you take me up on it, because I would love to help you go further. I know you've probably got lots of questions, and if it's only going to cost you $1 to come in and get some answers, it's kind of a no-brainer. I would love to see you in there, because it's my highest intention to be able to support you in your private practice. So your next step is to just go back to the emails that you've been receiving. You'll also get another email later today and perhaps even tomorrow. It's going to have a join now button in it. So click that. It's going to take you straight to your $1 starting subscription. It'll take you to PayPal. You just set that up for your first month, and then subsequent payments just come out automatically if you choose to stay. If not, let me know, and you can just cancel anytime. That's fine. There's no contracts. It's just a resource that's here to help you, okay? It's to help you help yourself. This is about your evolution, your expansion, your growth. And I can't wait to see you in there. And if you can't find your link to join now and you'd like me to send you another one, I'm happy to do that. Just reach out to me on Messenger on Facebook if we're connected, or just send me an email. Just say, hey, Brooklyn, can you send me the link? I'd love to join. And my email is hello@brooklynstorme.com. I cannot wait to see you inside, so that we can continue doing some of this work that you've started. And I know change is absolutely possible for you, but it's going to come from the inside out. And I am just the one to teach you how to do that. Thank you so much for your time today. And thank you so much for watching this video series. I hope that you loved learning as much as I love teaching. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.